about music, the thing that always comes to my mind is how do you stay motivated to keep playing? Because a lot of the people that I've talked to over the past couple of years used to be musicians. They have instruments that are shoved in a closet or a piano that's covered in dust. So my question when I talk to musicians is what keeps you motivated to keep playing, to keep getting better, to keep being a musician?
My first response to that is being able to take on the undiscovereds. Is kind of how I view it inside, where you start off playing guitar for a little bit, and you learn how to play your first chord. Well, then when you learn after some more practice, you learn how to play your second chord, and then all of a sudden you have two chords, and there's probably 500, 1,000 songs out there that you could start to learn with just two chords. Never mind when you get to the third chord. So a lot of times when I'm practicing or I'm writing music, the skill set and the muscle memory and everything just seems like you overcome a hump and you jump over a hurdle, so that what you're able to conquer after that is more wide open. You have more opportunities, more options, and I guess it's a matter of evolution too, and seeing like what my voice can do the more that I start to sing in higher registers or lower registers. So I just think the more that I practice, the more opportunities I have. I never stayed governed to one style of music. I mean, I grew up as a hair band, metal, Guns N' Roses, Poison.
We were both there.
We lived that life, dude. And then, I also liked Michael Jackson growing up, and, we dipped into our share of Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and stuff, and
all over the place. It's got groove, I'll listen to it.
And currently I've jumped into some country stuff over the past few years, so just being able to open up those gates to allow myself to create something new, something that I've never heard myself do before, I think is a large inspiration of what keeps me moving.
So you're a bit like Lewis and Clark, like you're here to explore, go down the Oregon Trail.
I believe that's a pretty good reference, because I consider myself to be more of a composer and a writer, aside from a performer, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
I love performing, and that's our goal, to get out there and perform. But I think I like trying to create something fresh and something brand new, and something that maybe somebody's never heard before.
Mm-hmm.
But on your side, what keeps you moving forward? Because you started off with music. I mean, we both started off in band.
Yeah, played saxophone for a couple of years, and then dropped it like a hot potato when we started getting graded for it.
As did I. What was our theory behind that?
I don't know. It also wasn't good that you gave you the choice of a study hall or band.
Right.
And you could do all your homework while you're still at school, or go to band and then do your homework at home. It wasn't an ideal setup for the band scenario, but obviously I kick myself now for not sticking with it. But I don't know. I could be a mean saxophone player right now. But what are you gonna do? Can't live your life in regrets. For me, motivation, hard to say. Part of it is I wanna connect with the world in a very grandiose way. Like, I want to spread joy to people out there, and some of the greatest joys I've had in my life is watching people dance to the music I play. To get people to move their bodies, all based on a groove that I was thinking of in my house. I was just sitting there watching a baseball game or something, and all of a sudden this groove comes into my head. It's like, oh yeah, I like this. Like, maybe other people will like this. And then with my former bands, like, you build a song around it and you get it out there and see how people react. But I think the more competent I am with my instrument, the more intimate we are together, the more I'm going to be able to express whatever I'm feeling inside. And I think it goes back to that writing piece of, discovering what's inside you and letting it out. And a big part of letting it out for me is being able to share it with others, to connect with them in a way you can't necessarily do at a conversational level.
So you don't necessarily need the acceptance of it. You just want to see their reaction to your art.
Yeah, well, I think acceptance goes along with that to some degree. You don't want to put out music and have people just kind of turn away, go the other way, and then turn on the jukebox while you're up on stage or something. Put on some Garth Brooks while you're trying to groove to this nice funk tune. So I think acceptance is part of it, but I think just being able to share it with others and even being able to play it with others. If I'm on stage with a group of musicians, I'm going to have just as much fun if there's nobody in the audience versus there's 1,000 people in the audience, because that interaction is it's a great way to connect with people, I guess.
I think a good booster for myself too is trying to inspire other musicians to take up the art of music, which is why I'm very grateful for where you and I are at right now, because I think we're on an even keel of our appreciation for music. I think we both have a similar motivation towards what we want to do with it, and I think our skill path level, or our skill level is on an even level. If I could see, in my past years, if I could see somebody pick up a guitar and I could kind of see the reaction or the aura that when they play something and it sounds like an actual note or an actual chord, and then I kind of try to push them to go further and further and further with it. I've had a number of friends that have picked up musicians that picked up music or instruments, and then we play together, and then I just want to keep playing that because I want to see them progress. And I mean, it's done a world of good for myself and what I've become as a musician, but I often wonder, if I were just starting and playing with somebody of a higher understanding, what that would have done for my music.
Yeah, not to get all sentimental on you and the internet in general, but I wouldn't be at the level I'm at today if you weren't the musician you were when we were 18. I mean, I pretty much started playing music again because I saw how much fun you were having with it and wanted to have that same amount of fun. I don't know if you remember walking into that store getting my first acoustic guitar before we were heading down to, I think it was Old Orchard, to one of our high school friends' houses. And we stopped in, got an acoustic guitar, you played a blues riff with the guy in the store, and I was just blown away that you guys were connecting. You never even really talked before, and you're connecting through music in a pattern that, obviously now I know it's standard 12-bar blues, but back then I had no idea.
Right.
So, I mean, your influence on me has been huge, and I think, obviously, I've been carrying that torch for about 20 years now, but, yeah, being able to inspire other musicians and get other people to play, I gave my roommate his first bass lesson the other day, and I had great ideas of what I was going to show him, not knowing anything about the bass, and then it was a good reminder to just step back and say, no, he's just beginning. He doesn't even know how to hold this. He doesn't even know what the frets are. He doesn't know what the strings are. You got to start from the basics and really understand the components of the instrument before you can get to the point where you're, flowing all of these ideas, based on what you're feeling inside. So I think that inspiration goes a long way. And to me, it's kind of made me the musician I am. So keep doing it.
Yeah, it's I kind of caught myself and I stepped back a little bit because I'm trying to teach my oldest daughter how to, hold hold her fingers to make an actual chord, so that instead of her just strumming all 6 guitar strings while she's singing her favorite country song or one of her favorite songs that I wrote, because she's my biggest fan. But she can hold her fingers there, but she didn't, catch the gist of being able to have to depress the strings hard enough to make them, play that note on the fretboard. And I caught myself because I said to her, I was like, no, you got to press it so it hurts, and when it hurts, you're doing it right. And I was like, wow, that was aggressive. But in actuality, you gotta push through the humps. You gotta push through the things that challenge you, and you gotta practice. You gotta overcome the quick response to just give up, and you gotta do it so that it hurts to make it sound right. You know what I mean? You gotta push forward. So
yeah, and I think that gets us back to the main question, like what keeps you pushing through that pain? I know the first time I sat down to play acoustic, I lasted maybe 10 minutes because my fingers hurt so much. Now, I mean, I can play all night, no problems. But like, what keeps you going through that to pick it up? Because it's so much easier to put it down and turn on a movie and open a beer and just sit down and do nothing,
right?
And kind of just zone out.
Yeah, it's an ongoing Super Mario video game, honestly. I mean, you get superpowers by catching on to something that you didn't think you can do, and you decide you want to play that different style of music, or you start learning scales, and you find you like those a little bit better than chord structures, so you enhance that superpower, or you go down some stupid green tube and you start playing like Alice in Chains instead of Willie Nelson. It's like it's the motivation is forever ongoing, forever changing. So
yeah. One thing that's done it for me these past couple of years, I've been fortunate enough to get down to Tennessee and Victor Wooten's camps down there, and just being around that level of musician, you realize what it takes to be great, and that's an extreme dedication to the craft. And seeing, it's almost ease of what they're playing. Like it seems simple, but that there's hours and hours and years of experience that goes into where they're at today. But just being able to, hear something and know the note, or to know a rhythm, it's quite a skill. But just being around people like that who have that similar passion for an instrument, or music in general, because music is just so much more than the instrument you play. I mean, you play guitar, but you also play bass, you also play mandolin, you also can play piano. I'm sure you'd be a great drummer. Because music translates. Once you understand the language of it, you can bring that to any instrument. It's just a matter of figuring out how it works.
Agree.
But I think, the motivation piece, being around people who share that love of it, helps me stay motivated.
Seeing what the final outcome could be, witnessing, yourself progressing, and then, looking back on where you were.
Yep, absolutely.
Full circle.
It's another good thing to analyze in your practice. Just record what you're doing so you can listen back, hear what you sound like, because what you think you sound like isn't always necessarily actually the case. You may think you sound horrible, but it actually sounds good, and vice versa. So it's good to listen back. But one other thing that keeps me motivated is watching people play live music, and me being as an audience member in the experience. When I was first starting, I would just be absolutely humbled in walking in and watching somebody play music, and almost discouraged to a point to pick up my instrument, given that the people that I just saw were so dialed in what they were doing. And at some point that changed. I don't remember exactly when it was, but now when I go see a show, all I want to do is go home and play music, whether it's with somebody else, or listening to a track and playing along, or just playing on inspired to play now, because at least I'm trying to take the perspective that they're showing me what's possible with the instrument, and they're expressing themselves with it, and I'm never going to be them, and they're never going to be me, but I'm really striving to find my voice with whatever instrument I choose to play, and just get better at it, so that I can tell my story a little clearer.
And I mean, I think out of all the musicians that I've known, I've seen you definitely make the largest climb from where you were to where you are, based on your extreme love for it. And I think what you're saying now with your connection to what it is as a whole versus being a mechanical skill, I think I mean, you know, you can learn every single scale, mode, or whatever in the book, and you can learn every single song that you've ever loved or appreciated per note, exactly how the recording artist made it. But if you can't sit down and play a song with somebody that, you know, in a particular setting, something that makes two pieces go together, then it's just, I mean, where's the connection piece? Where's the love? You know what I mean? Like, you know, love is the only thing that ever changed my life, is a line from a Sturgill Simpson song. Which, I mean, he's hopefully, I mean, he's talking about, you know, being in love with a significant other of some sort, and the song is about a lot of other bad things, but in actuality, with music, with life, with anything, I mean, once you appreciate yourself, once you appreciate your art or your craft, or once you appreciate a significant other, that can change a lot of things.
It's also a good motivator playing music.
Hell yeah.
Falling in love, falling out of love, being in love with music.
Get your heart broken with music.
Yeah.
Have a lot of good make-up sex. And then see where it takes you the next time you pick up the instrument.